Hello there. It's always a pleasure to have you join us here at the New Times Rwanda. My name is Davis Hijiro. I hope you are really ready for a fashion experience today because we have one of the most successful fashion designers here in Rwanda. He has a master's degree in collection and design. He's the man who aspires to make African fashion recognized on the world level. Ladies and gentlemen, help me in welcoming Moshions founding and creative director, Moses Turahirwa. Hi, Moses.
Hi, Davis.
How are you? I'm good, I'm good. Thank you for making time to be here.
No problem, it's a pleasure.
Yeah, you're doing amazing work in fashion after earning yourself a master's degree in collection design at Polmoda. You've hosted Emmanuel Zose fashion experience in Italy.
Yeah.
I think it's something commendable. You're doing great work.
Thank you, thank you.
Probably for the person who is seeing you for the first time, they may be wondering who is Moses. Please tell us a little bit of your background, who you are. Before all this, we see this great and booming brand here in Rwanda. Like, who is the man behind Moshions?
Who is Moses?
Yeah.
In terms of, yeah, my name is Moses Turahirwa. I'm 30 years old. I was born and raised in Nyamasheke, Western Province. And I'm just a simple guy. And then now I have a brand.
Now you have a brand that,
Yes.
like, it defines you and it has to say who you are. But before of that, what was your background like? I mean, your childhood. What was your childhood like before you even became a man? Like, just take us through all that journey to here in just a few words.
My childhood was basically basic. I would say I was born in Western Province, which was no more advanced to compare to when you probably grown in the city. So, and my childhood was basically basic. I did my primary school in Nyamasheke, secondary school, half of it in Rusizi, then in Butare, in Save, I did technical and construction in my second phase of university of secondary school. Then I did my university in Kicukiro IPRC, and my dream never been being a designer because of my background. So I was mainly in the construction technical stuff, just following what my environment was, thinking was best for me and probably my family and everyone, my friends. So I didn't have that much freedom to express what I wanted to express at the early age. I didn't have that much of also career guidance at the early age, and of course not so many of role models that I could look up to basically in doing fashion or something like that. So that was really far from my dream. It was far from what I was exposed to. Yeah, my childhood, I was raised with my siblings, three sisters and one brother, or with nothing to do with fashion when it comes to professionalism. But I was really grown in the environment surrounded by beauty. That was a trigger of what I do, because of my mom were used to pay attention to details, hand embroideries. My uncle was a tailor in the neighborhood. So I think everything has a source. So probably later on there to discover a little bit about that background. So that was a trigger of something I may be doing right now.
So you were first a construction student, and then just because of your relatives who were doing something like fashion, tailoring, was that the main motivation or the source of all these we see today?
One side, yes. One side, no, because it was not a big motivation, but I think it was something within. It is something that I say, I grew up loving beauty, appreciating beauty and something around me through the little things, like the craft, the embroideries, as I said. So And then when I started growing my knowledge into research and really following my heart, what it's triggering me to do besides what I pursued like professionally or career-wise, education-wise, then I remembered, yeah, there was that part in me that I had some inspiration back home, or some things that I could pick and the inspiration from that I grew through my surroundings. So it was just that was present in my thinking and in my background when I look back to that.
When was it when you started this fashion career?
I officially started in 2015. That's when basically I registered Moshions. But before I was already practicing through with other things at school, meeting different people, getting to know, to expand my knowledge or my research about fashion, knowing about brands, knowing about modeling, photography, writers. I've done that way before when I was still at school. So the interest started really earlier, but the practicing, the real practicing of like saying I'm devoted to do it, that was 2015.
2015. Well, you've been in the fashion industry in Rwanda, you know how everything works. Like, you've met different fashion designers in Rwanda. Like, tell us, what is your take on the growth of luxury products, I mean fashion luxury products, and like the luxury products are for high-end customers, right? Like in Rwanda is not a country which can afford, it's not a home of high-end customers. What is your take on the growth of these luxury products in Rwanda?
My take is that I believe, but also I believe that actually Rwanda is a home of luxury products, because through the people, and especially in Africa, because for me luxury is in the making, is in the details, is in craftsmanship. It's everything we basically have here. It's actually to know that we have luxury and to communicate luxury and to basically own the luxury that we have. But I think Rwanda itself, at this point, we can say that it is a great home for luxury products, and people here should recognize what is luxury. It's not, luxury is not only found in the West. Luxury, it is with us. It's also how we treat, how we conceive, how we process, how we pay attention to what we are making, because there is no standard, there is no specific standard on what is luxury and what is not. But it's ourselves to give the value of the products so that it can be luxury enough. It just comes from us. So my take is that we are able to make what is real luxury according to the standards, to our standard, but also to the international standards, because we know the definition, or we know what it takes to build the luxury. It's just also the community to accommodate the luxury of what is locally made and the people. Yeah. And of course, from the maker to the people, and then the people really are able to actually afford or own the luxurious pieces. Everything luxury comes from this side. It's just that, you know, yeah, we have to bring more awareness to it on what luxury is and how to own it.
Yeah, I like the fact that you say luxury is not for the West, even us. Actually, you're right, it comes from Africa, but there is still a challenge. I don't know if you agree with me that some of these luxury products, like some and majority of some Africans cannot afford it. I don't know if you agree with me. And if that's true, how do you adjust this? Like, quality is one thing, and the price, you know, the price to pull something out of the shelf sometimes is high for some people. How do you adjust this, having, you're thinking for the international market, and you also have nationals, like natives, who need the same products, but they still can't afford the price. How do you adjust this?
I haven't seen anyone who can't afford it. basically, because we all have what we can afford. It's just that basically it should not be seen in the terms of clothing. Everything we communicate luxury. Everything has standards, and also when you look in the life we live in, we are not equal. People are not equal. We don't have the same capacity to afford things. If you cannot afford probably a certain things at a certain moment, it does not mean you cannot really afford it. So I think people here, speaking from an experience, the people who buy our products are mainly Rwandans. So if you say that they cannot afford it, I will not, agree with you, because my 70% of clients are Rwandans. And then even though I go international or I get recognized also on the international scene, it does not mean that I leave the market from home, because I was grown from home. And then the confidence again is also through the people who support and who buy the products are from home. So the luxury is affordable. There is no luxury that is not affordable. Affordable to certain levels. That's the same thing that, even though we are all Rwandans, we don't eat the same, Some people will eat beans day and night, they're still Rwandan. Others will eat chicken and, there is still levels. Yeah. And then also to be comfortable on what we can achieve and what we can afford and what we cannot afford. Because it's not everything that is not made for everyone. There are certain things that are made for certain people to attract a certain clientele. Other things attract a certain clientele, but there is no clause in my case that says no Rwandans. And I have proof for that. That more Rwandans buy the products. So Rwandans can afford luxury. Rwandans can afford everything well made nicely that they're aware of.
Yeah, and Rwandans deserve luxury products.
Absolutely, yes. They're the first ones. I designed firstly for Rwandans.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really nice. Yeah. But you are designing luxury products, and you are now on the world scene, if I could say, the world level, because recently you held your fashion experience in Italy, and a lot of people and a lot of engagement you've received. What are the challenges and the opportunities for you in tapping into this luxury products market worldwide?
The challenges is basically like what you just asked me. It's just the mindset is a big challenge, because not only the mindset from where I come from, but also the mindset on the international level, because they still think luxurious or high-end is still for certain people. And when you look into reality, also the making, when we get the knowledge to make, to tackle into our resources to see how much luxury we can make, how much high-end, well-made and attention to details we can make, they actually sometimes can't compete. It's just to own the confidence. So the challenge is the mindset, and another challenge is the skills. It's the skills basically to have more people supporting the same initiative, but also coming with tangible practices towards the making. And then when it comes to international level, is that the competition is too high. There's people who've been doing it for ages, who have made a name, who have made the brands, who have made certain investments to make the names in their homes. That I would say it always starts from home. So for me to go international is to gain more, a little bit of people who can resonate with my brands or with my creations, but not forgetting home, because this is the source. The more people are still here, who raised me, who basically groomed me to be who I am or I become. But then we cannot just keep it for ourselves. It's best to share. Now that we know it, now that we have it, let's share with the world. So the challenges be the new voicing to bigger fishes sometimes, because there are big fishes out there who will not release it just easily, no matter how talented, no matter how good things you're doing. But because the competition is too high and the people are being investing in their names and their brands for over 50 years. It takes, you know, baby steps, but it's not discouraging. It's very encouraging to also see how, no matter how small your voice can be, but it can be also hard with some people.
Yeah, before even you tell us about the opportunities, I think there is this other challenge, like people saying this brand comes from Africa. Do you ever meet that?
Yeah, that's what I say, because when I say that, people think it luxury, especially in fashion. We haven't seen fashion more in the past coming from this side, you know, of the world. So when it's something new, it's a new voice. So to have a new voice being heard in bigger other voices that have been existing, it's a challenge. So when you come from this side, the expectations are not that high. It's like, yeah, let's see. Yeah. But it's yeah,
I think
it's just
it requires them to get familiar with you,
yeah, to know the brand and to get the familiar, because I would think really doing fashion is like, you know, it requires a lot of patience. It's not like a click. It's also like dating someone. It's like dating someone who knows what they want. So basically, you have to go back and until you convince them, because people buy from a brand they know. You know, it's like eating food. You not eat food you haven't eaten for, like, you know. So you will know why you're wearing this brand and who is the creator, who is the emotions behind that, what are they using, what are the fabrics, what is their story. They want to know everything. It's not like sometimes us, we don't even care. But also this is the love. This is also goes in the angle of education when you come to educating people about the creator and the makers, you know, people around you. So they see the work we do with love, the people we use to help bring the work out there, and then they fall in love. You have basically to fall in love with the brand for you to buy the brand. So we basically on searching on, you know, more partners who fall in love with us. And then it's not an easy challenge. It's not an easy journey, but when you're devoted, when you want to get married, you're like, I'm on a hunt to find a fiance, and then you're like, yes, this one, no, this one, maybe. So it's that kind of same challenges.
Yeah, but most of the times we see these products, they are finished. These people, big names, are wearing your brand. But I think there is something people do not get to see. They don't get to see the behind the scenes.
True.
What you get to put in.
Yes.
Can you describe the process? I mean, before we see big names wearing your brand or a nice product hang in the shop, like, what's the behind the scenes?
I don't even know how I can describe it. There is a lot of sweat and emotions and roller coasters behind the scenes, because it's just that what we care about as people, also as clients, is just to see a nice cloth hanging. But really, fashion can be devastating. That's the side of it that people don't get to see, but don't get to also witness, because it's just behind the scene. But the behind the scene is more, you know, than the grammar that we see on the runway or through editorial photos or campaigns, because they have to be a concept of an idea to developing, to researchers, to mood boards, to developing, to trials, fittings, pre-fittings, agree on the garment, choose the fabric, choose the color, choose the details, then the design step, then another pre-fittings, then plan the show. It's a whole million steps to have a garment finished, ready to even sell or to give to a profile you think that will wear the brand, will wear the garment. So there's a lot of things that are messed behind. Before you see this jacket, there have been like 10 trials of the shape alone, maybe 10 trials of the beadwork, embroidery, or maybe this, no, maybe this. Then you try, you're like, no, I don't like it. Do the fittings again, like that. So that's the joy and the pain of creating.
That's the pain and the joy. But
Yeah.
you have some examples of, even if one or two, of the sweating that takes place behind the scenes. People, like, you're talking in a fashion language.
Yeah.
People need to hear examples like, it happens like this time. This happened, this got to happen, something like that.
What can I say? Okay, maybe for making the garments, you know, we were like almost one day to the show, let's say, and then we always have, maybe we're going to show, the collection is going to be this look for the fashion show. We have some commercial looks that we don't show for the fashion show. We have other looks, extras. Then like maybe one of my main look, because as I say, I associate my emotions a lot with what I create. If I don't like something, I sleep on it and then I'll be like, hey, next morning, no. So I think one of the sweet is like, we created from the sketch to did the fittings and then agreed on the fabric. Then like basically we had to make a whole entire half of the collection a week before the show. Then it's something maybe you've done working on for almost a year or 5 months, but because you see something and you feel like it's not resonating enough, you have to cancel everything and then redo everything. So sometimes it's really roller coasters to me, but also to the team, to some people you are working with. They're like, okay, what's happening? Yeah. So people get devastated in a way, you know. People cry, other be like, I can't do it. There is overnight. There is the time we don't really go home. We sleep basically in the studio with the tailors, with everyone. We're like, we have to do this. Also, as talking from a client perspective, there is a client, because everything we do is, we are not machines. The fashion is really attention, because bodies are different. Some client will come having certain expectations. They have something to attend, a wedding or maybe something. Then you see the fitting is a whole mess, you know, and then they have to wear now a garment tomorrow and they have trusted you. So what are you going to do? You have to redo everything and then try to make them happy probably in 2 hours that you have. You have to make a whole dress that you had to make in 2 weeks. So what is going to happen? You call the tailor, you be like, come, we have to fix this. You sleep in the studio and then you have to change. It's you know, such kind of circumstances. But that's why I say, if you're really not passionate and loving enough fashion, you will go crazy.
Yeah. Now I understand what it's like behind the scenes.
Yeah,
it's really,
a little bit. That's a little bit.
That's a little bit.
Yes.
Wow, I think it would require us a day for you to tell us everything about behind the scenes. You talked about you tell people about this. If you don't have passion, you better quit. You better not go for this. In Rwanda, who are the best fashion designers you think here today?
I think everyone who's taken a decision to do it, they are the best.
Yeah, I agree with you, but then I think you can.
I don't have names.
Really?
Yes, I don't have names. I think everyone out there decided to do fashion, to design. They are the best. I admire everyone because they all have different signatures. Because even though we design, some people design streetwear, that design high fashion, other design costumes. So I can say in every single sector, but everyone who's working in fashion design, yeah, you are the best. Yeah.
Like, what's your take on Rwanda's current fashion quality? What's your take?
My take is that we are still learning, we are growing, we are not there yet. Yeah.
Do you think there is this thing that should be done for Rwanda and also Africa for the quality to grow?
Yeah. There is one and only one thing to be done is to acquire the right skills on the making. Because we have talents, we have inspirations. We need to really invest in the skills of know-how Yeah.
Okay.
Understanding the garments, understanding the shapes, understanding the fabrics, understanding colors. Yeah, we need to improve in knowledge so that we can do something competitive also on the global scene. Otherwise, it's just going to be stuck here.
Okay. Please tell us, what's the experience of dressing the first family?
Wow, this I think it's the amazing experience. What can I say? It's amazing. It's an amazing experience that can happen to everyone, loving what they do and loving to express it. You know, I think it could be probably the best gift to someone working in the field they really enjoy and love, to see that kind of reward. It's very, very, very encouraging.
Do you want to share us one or two experiences, like what it's like? Two examples, maybe.
Like what?
Scenarios. What's it like? You know.
I think you see when they wear the garments. That's what it looks like.
What's the process? They come here. You go there.
Wow. wow. Okay. I think the first lady came officially. She visited us. You've seen that, but then other behind scenes are behind scenes.
Yeah, as we come to an end of our conversation, in your daily life, how do you cope up with your mental health, and what's this thing you mostly probably struggle with daily? Daily? Maybe in daily life?
Yes, overthinking. That's my struggle. Yeah, that's my struggle, but I'm also a very emotional person. So I have a lot of emotional roller coasters, either personal or through my work. So it's not, my emotions are not consistent.
How do you cope up with it?
How? I take a time off when I feel like it's too much. I take time off. I try to breathe in and out. I also try to talk to people. I try to talk to my friends. So sometimes my friends are punching bags. Also talk to specialists when it's getting too bad. Sometimes it gets out of the handle. So that's how I cope with it. Basically, I try to take care of myself, and I know when it's the wrong, when it's getting really, really bad, to cool down and seek for the right help.
You're right, and that's a good way to handle and to take care of yourself. DJ Toxic, we've had a conversation with him in the past, and he described you as a dreamer. As a hard worker. Is that true?
If he said so, I mean, he's a good observer. So if he said so, I agree.
You agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's commendable as well. So as we wind up, I have this one game for you to play.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, a game. Are you good at games?
I'm not good at games.
This is a simple and small one. So this is how it works. It's called Never Have I Ever. So you have your palm like this. Then I'll say a sentence. Then if I'll say never have I ever, and then say something. If you have, you will do this. If you haven't, you will stay like this.
Okay.
Yeah, let's start. Then you have your palm. Okay.
Never.
If you have,
I'll do this.
Yes.
If I haven't,
you'll do this.
Okay.
Okay. Never have I ever stolen anything. Never.
What? That's done or what?
No.
Okay.
So you've stolen something.
I've stolen something, I think.
Okay.
Maybe a towel at the hotel. Yes.
Never have I ever told a lie to my best friend. You haven't?
No.
Okay. Never have I ever Googled someone after we met. You have? Who is that?
Many.
Many?
Yes.
Okay. Never have I ever fought in public. Haven't?
No.
Such a humble guy. Never have I ever regifted a gift. Never?
Never.
Okay. Never have I ever tried marijuana.
Wow, 25 years. Never, 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 never. Never, I don't know what that is.
This one you've cheated and I'll have to cut this last part. Okay. Never have I ever met someone famous.
Made?
Meeting?
Ah, mate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never met.
I have met.
You have met, okay. Never have I ever been fired from a job.
No.
Nope. Okay. So this is the last one. Never.
Be careful. That looks like. That looks like. Okay.
Okay.
I can't lie. It's okay.
You can lie? Okay, to be honest, there is no other.
Good. Well done.
Man, thank you for making this time to be here.
Thank you too.
This was a good one, was it?
It was. Yeah, I had fun.
Thank you, man.
Thank you
Yeah.
too.
So this leads us to the end of our conversation with Moses Turahirwa, the founder and the executive director of Moshions. You should visit them, and they work here in Kiyovu. They have a shop, they have a website, motions.rw, and social media platforms, you can still find them. And thank you very much for tuning in. So for more videos like this, please subscribe to the New Times YouTube channel, and you can also follow us on our social media platforms. Our Twitter handle is at New Times Rwanda. Our Instagram page is at the New Times Rwanda. Till next time, have a nice time. My name is David Sigiro. Ciao.